Today is Thursday, April the 3rd. Happy Thursday. And today I'm just doing a pop-up live video. And today I just want to share something with you that I just discovered to make my life a little more better when I am crocheting and using um, different, switching to different colors. And so that's what I'm going to be showing to you today. And I'm working on this blanket. So you know how we when we crochet a blanket, a garment, we like to switch up the colors, and then we have a lot of cutting and a lot of sewing in. Well, and sometimes we just sew in the two strands with the two colors together, and it doesn't, it all depends on the color. So I'm just going to share with you um what I did. Made my life easier, and also it saved me time. Thank you for all my supporters and everybody watching the live video. Anybody in the background, hello, and anybody watching a replay, thank you for being here. I do appreciate you guys. I just came to, just to make a quick video. I had my grandson's laptop so I could be able to um do a better video, but I had to use my phone. So I'm on my phone right now. But I am going to show you. I wanted to use this laptop so you'll be able to see the blanket better. I got the phone on a tripod, but it won't bend down the way this tripod does not fold. My other tripod broke, so I have to get it fixed. All right, so this is the blanket I'm working on. Okay, so I'm working on this blanket right now. Okay, so I'm using two different colors, and that's the white and this teal green. Now I want to show you in the bottom when I first started crocheting this blanket and switching the colors. And then once I switched the colors, you know how we cut the yarn, we tied it, and we sew it in with the nude with the next square. And so you see in the bottom, you see that green, and then you see the white in the bottom right there. So I don't like that because you can see the white when you sew it in. This is when you're switching colors. So from here, I switched to the green. And so I had to sew in the white with the green. So I really don't like that. I left it there intentionally to show you guys. And then you switch from the green to the white, and then you got to sew in the green into the white, right? Or in this case, you carry the color over so that you don't have to cut the yarn, which that doesn't look good neither. So if you're using white or a lighter color, I don't like the way that look, right? So once I'm done with the blanket, I'm going to be taking that out, removing it, and sewing it in. So you probably could see a difference from up here. I want to show you the difference. When you start switching to two colors, you see you sew in that white and green together, right? And I'm going to get you a close-up of it so you can know what I'm talking about. So I found out a way that would save you time, and as you crochet, so you don't have any loose ends to sew later on. So if you could see here, you can see that the bottom has the loose strands, but in the middle it doesn't. See, as you go, you see nothing there. I wish I could show this flat, but like I said, I'm limited to what I could use. Right now I'm using my phone, but this is where I stop. But for today, but if you can see that this is a clean look, and you see none of the green as you sew it in, and you see none of the white here as you sew it in. It looks beautiful, right? It looks nice and clean. And so You don't have to go back later. Two things. It would look nicer because you don't see the green in here or the white in here. And you don't have to go back and sew all those loose ends. So what I did was, let me get my crochet hook. It was inside a white one. Yeah, it's in here. I do have a short video. I'm using Lion Brand Pound of Love in white and teal, which is a different name. I showed it in my short. And the name of this teal here. Okay, so hopefully you can see it, because like I said, I can't not bring down the camera. But all right, so I'm close to the green now, and I'm going to move back here. I'm going to crochet up to here, and then I'm going to switch the yarn to the green. Okay. So first, before I do that, when you are in this side of, every time you finish a row, just going to show you too, where you left off, that strand is in the front of your work. Where you cut that yarn off, right here, because remember, I'm not sewing it in as I crochet yet. So this is the back of the work. I didn't sew it in. Then I turned around my work, started working on the front of the work, but I left this here for a reason. And then what I'm going to do is sew it all together. So what I do is I bring this to the side of the work that I'm working on. So I put my crochet hook in here, and I start bringing all these loose ends to the opposite side. Okay, it's in the opposite side. And so you do that all the way across. So now this is the back, but I'm working in the front. Okay, so now we're going to finish this row, and then it's just such a simple thing. I don't know why I didn't think about this before. It gives the blanket a nice clean look. No, no sewing in or anything. Loose ends, you just cut off the extra little loose end after you sewed it in. If you have anything left, you cut it off. So now we're at the last one here. So this is what this strand is, not in this top row, is in the bottom row when I had worked on this side of the blanket. So now we're going to switch. So now I am going to go in here and stop here so I could change my color. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, I'm having an issue with phones, with laptops. It's been kind of difficult to make a video, and I couldn't make a video outside neither. I've been working on my both garden. I worked about an hour and a half at my daughter's house, that garden, and all I did was a short video over there. And then this garden yesterday, I was about an hour and a half here working with my compost. Okay, so sorry, I had to pick up the scissors. So now what I'm gonna do is, later on when I could get to use the laptop, I'll show you again. All right, so I cut this white yarn. I'm gonna switch it to the teal now, and I tied it. All right, so now we're gonna switch to this color, right? So now we have the white I just cut off, which I'm going to move it over this way. And then we have the green. So what you want to do is, so it can look nice, the white should stay over here and the green stays over here. So let me add this green and I could show you. Let's tie it. So when you tie it, you want to switch the green over here and the white over here. So this white stays here. We are not going to sew this one in. This one's going to be sewed in after you go back to the other side of the blanket. So you just leave that hanging there. So this is the green, right? And that we just added. Now you want, this is the green that I just switched it, that's connected to my yarn. And this is the green, the other strand from the prior work at the other side. I pulled it through. So now I grab these two strands. First you want to do, I'm doing a double crochet in this one. So first you want to do half of that double, just go in first. And now you grab these two strands, the row before and the new row, and you put it on the hook, and then you grab your working yarn and you crochet it all in. Now this white one here is going to stay here until you go around, till you crochet the other side, and you're going to do the same thing that we're doing here. So now you do what basically we normally do, is sew in this loose yarn here. But the thing I like about this is just I'm not sewing in the white with it because it doesn't look nice. I don't like the way it looks. So this white one, I'm going to sew it in when I go back around. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. So you just sew these two green ones in. As you crochet, as you go, you put it in the, this is a double crochet stitch I'm doing for this blanket. And so then you just sewing in, and then you continue with each block. You continue with each block. And you know, this is just two colors. You might work with 3 colors, 4 different colors. And you do it. And look how beautiful it looks. It looks really nice. Very clean. It almost looked like if you had these 2 colors in one ball, one skein of yarn, and never switched it. So yeah, so that's what you do. You go all the way, sew it in until you can't crochet this in, until you can't crochet it in anymore. You cut off the extra part, and you would never have to go back and sew anything. A lot of people don't like, especially when they're making blankets and they're switching a lot of colors. They don't like going back and sewing all those ends. I don't blame them. So this is a nice technique for you to do it as you go. But again, this is about keeping the same colors. You keep the white with the white, because this right here, I'm trying to pull some yarn. So see how I got a little bit left there? I already sewed in as much as I could. You cut that off, and then you keep going. And then you just cut this off. And I wait until I'm at the end of the row to cut it off, but I'll do it now just to, so you guys can see how nice it looks. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, my phone fell. You guys still there? Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, I'm having issues. All right, so things happen. I guess the phone, this little tripod I have here is not very good. And so, okay. So I guess I have a blooper in my video. So now you just cut it off. But I wait to the end because I just go clip, 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 and I'm done. I like to wait to the end because I just continue crocheting. So I don't waste time. I save time. And I just keep going and going. And so that's how it is. So when you turn your work, around, this is going to be white, but then we got to connect the green here. I mean, yeah, this is white. You're going to turn your work, and then you're going to do the same thing with this white. Let's pretend I finished this row and I turn my work now. So you go in with the hook, and now you pull it out to the back. This strand always has to be pulled to the back. It's always in the front because you just finished doing that row, right? So now you do the same thing here. Now I'm crocheting my white. I'm coming with my white, but now I have to connect the green. So I switch to the green, cut the yarn, and then you sew uh the green this way. I'm in the wrong side. Yeah. So that's how you do it. And this is how it looks. You don't see anything. It looks so much prettier, and it looks more nicer, like more clean work. I don't know if you guys are understanding what I'm saying. So yeah, so it saved me time. Like this is where I did it down here. You could even see the white. This is where I was crocheting the white with the green just to get rid of that white, and then I continue with the green and I switch the colors. But look, you don't have to do that. You do it that way. But I'll do another video about it when I have a better equipment that I could do that I could use the laptop. I have the laptop here, but it seemed like something was uploading on his laptop, and I don't know if it was a scammer or what it was. It kept doing it, and usually that doesn't do it. It kept saying update, but it's like it had to, like a body with eyes like spinning and saying, oh, it was an error, and it was an error, we're not, it failed the update, and it kept going to 20 seconds and starting all over again. So I'm going to show you one more time. So I'm at the end. So now this is where we switch our yarn. So we're going to cut the working yarn, which is the green. Let it go. And now we're going to add the white to here. But do you see the white? It's in the back, right? This is the prior row, right? So we're going to bring this to the front, so I'll be able to sew it in. So we're going to bring the white. We're going to switch it to the white. Make a knot. Oh yeah, I already switched it over. Okay. So now this is the new yarn, the working yarn. This is the finished green. So you're just gonna make sure that green drops over here. Don't crochet it in. And now you got your white. This is the working yarn, and this is the prior row. So you're always going to have 2 strands to sew in with the working row. So you go into that first chain, and then you just work it in. You put it on your hook, the working yarn, pull through, and there it goes. It looks like you know, looks nicer. This just saved me a lot of time, and once I'm done with the blanket, I don't have to go back and sew anything. But that's not the only reason I did it. The reason I did it was because I didn't want no white here, and I didn't want no green here. So now when I turn my work, this green gets sewn here. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. It's been raining here. It stopped already, but we had rain last night. We had rain the day before. And then today was rainy, but it stopped. The sun is out. It was a cloudy day. I wanted to wait to see if the sun was going to come out so I could do this video. Well, this live, because I can't do videos right now. Yeah, so, and you just, you just keep going. I just love the way it looks. I love the way it looks. So you never have to sew in a different color. The color that you work, the prior color you work with the other color. You'll never have to sew in the green, and you're switching your yarn to the white, and then you sew them both together in here. You don't want to do that because it looks like this. It looks like this. See the green down here? Yeah, that's when I first started. And then I didn't like it, and I was like, nah, I don't think I like that. So what I do is the When I switch the yarn, the opposite color, I leave it hanging. When I go back around, I sew it in with the block of the same color. I hope that you guys understand what I'm saying. But I wanted to show not me being a camera. I wanted to show the work on the table and show you on the table. But like I said, the one of the clip to my tripod, one broke off. And so I'm gonna see my I put some monkey glue on it and see if I fix it. But yeah, I've been working on this blanket for a few days now. Um, I work on it in the mornings, and then I go do the things I have to do, and then I do the garden, and then I work on it some more um in the evening. Right now I already cooked dinner, and dinner's been done about an hour ago. And it's a beautiful day. I had to go pick up my other daughter at my eldest daughter's house. And yep. And I got a lot of my seeds. A lot of stuff has been germinated, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, so this is what I'm working on this blanket. This is going to be a ribbon. This is going to be a graph blanket. So what I did was, see right here, I have to switch the yarn. Let me add this yarn before I tell you how I did these blocks. I was trying to find, I looked and looked, a graph for a crochet ribbon blanket where I could just, I didn't want to sew the blanket and then sew a rectangle to then sew it into the blanket. That's too much work. So what I want to do is go do it as I go. So my ribbon is not, it's going to be straight up. The ribbons in the bottom, they kind of like, the ribbons in the bottom is like not straight up like when you wear a ribbon or make it, they are rectangle, but the way that the ribbons look, the breast cancer ribbon and all that, I'm gonna try next time with the pink, where this goes up a little higher, and so you could have like that a little bit pointy, and then you bring this up a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crochet this. I've been measuring it. I'm going to crochet this up to, this is going to be a throw blanket, so into the middle. Once I get the middle, then I start making the twist and then the loop on the top of the blanket. So we're going to see, because I'm playing this by ear. This is without a pattern. Okay, so see, it's here. And so I don't need that white one because I'm not going to work on white right now. That's going to be later. I'm going to work on the green. So I grab my 2 greens. And the green or the white, it's going to be here, right, in the top. And then this one is the prior row you did, the one in the back. But it's still, even though it looks like one is higher than the other, it's still going to look nice. Don't worry about that. It's all going to blend in. So you go into that loop to make your double crochet, and then I'll show you how even though one is higher than the other, it's still going to look like if there were hold on, it's still going to look like they were in the same level, on the same height. So one is in the top, one's in the bottom. So, but when you do that double crochet in there and you keep going, you're never going to tell the difference. It's like if, there it goes. See, this is where I connect it right here, right there. So for this one, what I did was I did I chained 100 rows. I mean, 100, a chain of 100. And so each block has 20, right? 5, 10, 20. Hold on a second. Yeah. So 100 in each, I chained 100 chains, and each of these squares, whatever you want to call them, it has 20 of the white, 20 of the green, 20 of the white, 20 of the green, 20 of the white. That's how I'm doing it. And then I did one row of double crochet in the bottom. Yeah, so this is the back of the work, but this is the front right there. So wish I hope it turns out fine, because I was thinking about it today. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't, this is just, you know, I'm just winging it. So we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully it's gonna turn out fine. And yeah. So this is the ribbon for cervical cancer. The teal is the ribbon for that cancer, that type of cancer. So yeah. So the next one I'm gonna do is pink. But I might do it different than this, because I'm gonna try to make sure that in the bottom is not straight. The green, see the green? So I'm gonna try that. Try to do the counting. I will have to uh have more white going this way. Maybe the first row not start the green yet, only up to here, and then have the white here and then the green, so that way you can have a little tip. We will see how I do it, but this is for now the way it's gonna go. And yeah, so I'm trying to get my work done. I'm trying to get my crocheting done in the middle of everything else that I have to do. So I'm gonna get it done. I really got to get this done. I want to finish this blanket at least by next week. And yeah. So yeah, so you don't have to sew in later on anything, unless you're gonna do Frenchies for the edging or anything like that, which I'm not gonna do with this one. If you want to do like a Frenchies here with the green or in white, I do like the Frenchies for the blankets. I did my friend's blanket with her, and her border was the Frenchie border was the French look. So yeah, so that's what I've been working on. I think I'm on row 32. I think I'm on row 32 right now. And so imagine if you do like some multiple colors, so it all depends how many chains you're going to use for the white. You might want to probably do 10 of one color, 10 of another color, 10 another color, 10 another color. And if you do it this method, by the time you're done, you're done. You just have to like do a border, and that's it. But you don't got to sew in your loose ends, and then it will look nice. The green will be with the green, and the white will stay with the white, instead of sewing green and white together as you go to start your green. So that's what I was avoiding, that if once I switch from white to green, I didn't want to take this strand of green white and sew it into the green with the green as I crochet with the green, because it's not going to look nice. That's what I'm trying to explain. Yeah, so anyways, thank you for those. I can't see in here right now, but thank you for those that stopped in. Thank you for the thumbs up. Stay tuned. I will be making another video. I want to show you guys about something that I discovered, and maybe somebody discovered it before me, but this is the first time I just figured this out myself, because I didn't want to mix my colors. I didn't want, if I was to give someone a blanket, I didn't want them to see that green down there. I didn't want them to see the green inside the white, or the white inside the green. I want them to see it like this. Like if I sewed everything. It looks really nice though. I do. Yeah, it looks really nice. But this is one of the blankets I'm working on. And yep. And then so that's what I wanted to show you guys today. And I have a lot to do, a lot to work on. Now I have to figure out. Hopefully I'll have everything all worked out before I make my next video with the recording and everything. I don't want to keep going on live for all my videos. I had to go live because there's no way for this phone to be, for me to put in a position that I wanted to put it, because this tripod is the small ones, and it does, the head of the tripod, which is has the claw on my phone, it doesn't bend, it doesn't twist, so it just stays the way it is right now. Yeah, these are one of the old ones I have. So see, I just now switched it to white, but now I'll leave this green here for when I go back around. But I am going to take my 2 strands of whites, one from the prior row and one from the row that I'm working now, and it looks nicer, and just crochet all that in. Yep. So that's what I'm working on right now. And I have to stop working on this. This weekend I gotta work on the cardigans. Stop putting that off. It's still cold here. It's spring, but the other night it was so cold when we left in the morning. It was cold yesterday. It's just cold in the mornings and the evenings. The afternoons about 40 degrees. I think the high today was 40 something degrees. It all depends. So yeah, we still got a frost date. Our last frost date here in the northeast coast, well, in my zone, which I'm in zone 6B, our last frost date in this zone is April the 20th. So we still could have frost, cold weather. Yeah. And last night was really cold. I had to put on the heater. So yeah. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. And what's today? Thursday. I'll see if I make another video by this weekend. And I hope everybody is having fun with their crochet and knitting projects. And I got, and I was busy doing other things. I kind of like lost my touch with crocheting. Like I lost my mojo, I guess you want to say. And I'm glad that I picked it up again. Sometimes this is therapeutic for me, and I like to create stuff. So I did miss it. And I'm glad that I'm back at it. Back to work. So, yep. So that's what I want to share with you guys today, guys. Just to give you another look how nice it looks without the 2 colors. The 2 colors in the same block. Looks really nice. All right, guys. Well, thank you for everybody that was here. Anybody watching behind the bushes. I don't want to, take up too much of your time. God bless. Be careful out there. I'll see you in my next video. God willing. God bless. Take care. Bye for now.